So that's how it's sitting there now. It's been stripped down a bit further than what it was because I had to go at painting it on the bike itself. Pretty hard to paint a bike with the panels on it, even though if you want to think you're going to save a little bit of time, because it's fairly hard to get the painting into the edges and things like that and do a nice clean line. So I'll probably give you a couple of examples of what went wrong on that side, and then I decided the only choice for me was really to get in here and pull some of the panels off so I could spray it and get a better coverage and stuff like that. But apart from that, when you have a look at these Xmax scooters and they're pulled down, they've certainly got some electronics and gear hanging around in them. So I've gone to the front here, ripped off the front section there, covering down there. I might put up a photo while we're talking how it used to look. Down here in the front mudguard's gone. We'll notice it's got a nice big radiator sitting under there, which you don't see, you know, with all the plastics on it. So we might as well have a little bit of a tour. I suppose that'd be the ABS there. So as far as that goes. So tell you what, it's not easy getting these plastics off too, because for the 23 model, there's no info out there how to pull one of these apart, so it's more like trial and error. And when you get there and think, oh well, the previous models will be the same there, not the case, because their connectors and how they put it together is totally different up in this section here when you come along. And you know, it's a little bit time consuming. I didn't want to have to do anything like this, but I had no choice. Let's have a look on the motor. So there's your Yamaha motor sitting down there, the 292 cc's. Got the old back wheel sitting there too. Over there's your drive section. They're strange how they put these scooters together. They just look like a frame with a motor sitting down the bottom. But apart from that, that's how it's going there. When you look back this way, you can see all the other gear going along there. So at this stage, I've got quite an assortment of nuts, bolts, screws hanging around here. I've moved the others away, so just in case the wife gets out here with the broom and she gets carried away and sweeps everything away. But what I will show you now, I'll throw up a couple of shots. One where you can have a look at it where the painting didn't come out really that good on the edges, because once you get in there masking, say for example you're in this section here and you're masking up, it's very hard to get in where the corners overlap into the next section and expect to get a clean line. So that's what I was unable to do. I'll show you one piece where I did go up to the final stage of the painting before I decided to rub all the other ones back out, so they look a bit rough now because they've been wiped over. But I did keep one piece and it was sort of all right, but I reckon I can do it better. So you know, I figured I'd pull these panels off, start from scratch, try again. So let's have a look at a couple of those panels. Let's have a look here where the battery sits in there. Look at that one there. So you've got to pull the panels off here at the front to get into it. There she is sitting there. I may even put a C-Tech lead from the battery straight over there to one of the outlets there. Maybe easier one day if I ever have to charge a battery. Especially when I don't ride them all that much. Anyway, here's a panel here what I sprayed earlier on. You can sort of see it's not real crash hot up along the edges. It was hard to get. Mind you, this has been scuffed back again now since I decided I'd pull it out. So, and you know, I just figured I was just trying to save costs, or not even save costs, I mean save a bit of work there. So the idea now will be to pull the panels off, spray them separately. What I'll do now, I'll show you a panel that was already done. Now if you look on the right hand side, just come off the front forks, that's already been clear coated, and that's how it should be, or that's how the other panel looked until I rubbed the clear off it. So next thing I'll be doing now is this one here looks pretty good, but I'll rub it back too and redo it again too when I go back through. But apart from that, not a bad gloss on it, and I haven't touched it either, it's just sprayed like that. You can see it's got plenty of shine. I could, what side was it? It was this side here. When you sort of see it looking back up on the wheel itself, somewhere around here. Got a bit of dust on it. Might be better now. Anyway, that's how it looks that way. So the colour's alright, I think. Not a bad looking blue. I think it's a Commodore blue too. But apart from that, went on nicely. You can see there now. So that'll be the colour when I get around to doing a whole lot. So you can just see the difference once the clear coat's been rubbed back off them. You can see the difference how they change colour. You can see now this one here, flat. This one here's got the shine. If you get it there like that, look at that. It's actually not bad. If I can get it all probably up to this standard, I'd be doing alright. So apart from that, that's what the thing is at the moment. I've got a window opportunity next week, I think 4 or 5 good days. So I'll probably be able to work on this some of the time. I don't want to get out there doing it every day, you get sick of doing it. But I've got nothing better to do, and there's no real big hurry as long as I do it while that window of opportunity persists and I can get into it. Yeah, so sometimes it's a bit of a hard life playing around with painting. You know, I really don't like it that much. I'll tolerate it, I'll do it for something to do, but I ought to save $1, but apart from that, I'm not all that keen. If you look over here at old yellow, this car I bought, I think 14 years ago, 25,000, it was black. And it wasn't a really good black. If it would have been a glossy black, I would have kept it, but it was that shitty, dirty looking black, like a metallic black, but not a good black. So I bought it home and just brought it in here and threw it under this veranda and put the covers up, rubbed it back, and I think I put about 100 hours into this one and then sprayed it yellow, and then give it to the daughter, but she doesn't want it now, so it just sits here. So apart from that, I think I put about 100 hours I think it was, and that was inside, outside, in there. Painted the lot. In the boot. Engine sits in the middle here, but if you look at this one here, I've probably only polished it a couple of times in 14 years, and look at the gloss still on this car where I painted 14 years back. But that wasn't the first car. I've probably painted, I don't know, all resprayed on 25 cars over the years, all different stuffs, but this one here, you know, like after I painted, I never went in further. But the clear coat on this one, it's a bit dirty there, but it's still got a gloss on it, like not a bad gloss considering it hasn't been worked over, so it'll still looks fairly good. Strange thing about this car, you can take it out, and I class these MGFs as heaps of shit. That's what they are, rubbish. But if you look at it another way, I've had cars here a lot better than this one, really good quality stuff, and this little MG comes out with that colour, and I'll take more notice of this MG when I see it going along because I don't know what it is. And you know, it just sort of attracts a lot of attention, and you get the high roller cars here and take them out. They just don't take any notice, they're common, but this is the only one around here at the moment, has been for a long time now. And like I said, it's bought it as a one owner. These were $50,000 when they were new back in the early 2000s. They were highly overpriced for a heap of junk. I mean, out of all the sports cars I've ever owned, and I've had a heap of them, probably 40 of them, I'd say these MGFs would be the biggest junk. No risk about that. I would say they're as bad as a Honda ADV 150 because they're a bit of rubbish too. So, and that's the scooter version. So, but apart from that, like I said, this one is held together all right for probably, I think it was about 14 years. Paint's still holding in there nice and well. Looks alright. One day, I'm just in the process now of fitting different suspension to it, putting in a new set of coilovers all around to see if it can improve the ride, and then I might go out and drive it around a bit when winter comes along, or I might not. If I'm not on the bike, I might take this out, but I don't know there. If you like sports cars, or you got anything to do with sports cars, this is a fairly boring one. There's no risk about that. that's why I painted it up the nice and bright and yellow, nice safe colour for the daughter and that. But apart from that, that's about it. So I actually thought the motorcycle would do, or the scooter would be a pushover compared to the car, but believe it or not, there's still a lot of work in painting one of these if you want to do it reasonably good. And it's just not coming here and think you can do it in a couple of hours. Not the case. It's just like these things, they take a long time. When I painted this one going back 14 years ago, it only cost me about $700 I think to paint it in total. And like I said, that was everything pulled out of it down to the bare. I got a video up on it on YouTube where it just started from scratch, pulled all the parts off it. And when you think of it now, this one, I don't know, I think it'll probably cost about $250 now to do this, because I've got to go back in and buy more paint in that, because I squandered me paint on trying to paint it while it was still on the panels. So apart from that, we'll see how this one here goes, and one day I might get out there and ride this one. I haven't been in this one for months, or quite a long time anyway, and it's always good to get back in and drive something what you think's no good. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, take a look, catch you later.